Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest, 8-Second Gaming, and I've already seen a ton of people talking about how they're hard stuck already in Season 16. They can't climb, they don't know what to do. So today we're going to be breaking down the top 5 reasons why you are not climbing and why you have the illusion that you're hard stuck. But if you guys are here, it's very clear that you want to get better at Apex, and if that's the case, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there we have the best, most highly informative guides to make you the best player you can possibly be. We've already helped a bunch of people hit new peak ranks because they're using our legend guides, our gun guides, our VOD reviews, and incorporating that into their own gameplay and becoming absolute beasts. So if you want to hit a new peak rank and then some, click the link in the description, pick up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, let's hop into these reasons now, and starting off with reason number 1, this is jumping legends too much. Now look, I understand people want to play different legends. They get bored of the same one if they play it too much. But if you guys are changing legends every single game or every single day, that's actually hurting you as a player. This is something that you should really do in pubs and not in ranked. I get that people want to be a jack of all trades, but seriously, in ranked, a master of one is just such a better option. You should be picking a main legend and then at least a backup or even potentially 2 backups in case both your legends get picked. Once you have that one main legend that you play every single game, you really start to understand them like the back of your hand. You know what situations they're good in, you know what situations they're bad in, you know what situations you can get out of, and so much more. But if you don't play a legend long enough or really understand them, then you'll start to put yourself in positions that you actually shouldn't be in because you overestimate your character. On top of that, you start to learn a lot of really cool, neat tricks that you can do with the character that can help you in game. Like if you guys want an example for this, Catalyst is the perfect one. Imperial Hal and TSM started to throw her into their team comp, and now a lot of people are starting to pick her up. But a lot of people don't know how to use her properly, and they're just jumping straight into ranked, and they're not really understanding how she wants to be in fights, and they're just becoming free KP or even potentially messing up their own team because the wall can do some damage to your own team if you used him properly. But that's reason number 1, so let's move into reason number 2, and this is over relying on hot drops. Now this is something that I see mainly in lower elo, but this is something that is definitely holding people back. You are relying on the hot zones of the map way too much. I don't know what it is with people's fascinations and going into a spot where there's 4 to 5 other teams. 99.999% of the time, you guys are not going to win that fight. There are too many teams there. You're not going to get enough loot. You're going to be struggling. You're going to be there for a while, and another team that did land nearby that actually did loot up is probably going to come in, swoop up, clean up all the kills, and you're back in the lobby with a fat RP loss. You might have gotten a couple kills, you might have been able to luck out on something, but most of the time it's not going to work. Don't over rely on these hot drops. The only time that you should ever be landing with another team is on Broken Moon, or if there's enough loot for both of you and there's nobody nearby to third party. Way too many people try to land hot. They try to be the protagonist. They try to be that guy, and you know, you guys aren't. I hate to break it to you. You have to be realistic when you're climbing in ranked. If you were that good, you would not be in the rank that you're in. It's just a little reality check that you guys have to hit. But okay, that's number 2 out of the way, so now let's move into number 3, and this is not being consistent on your game plan. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I jump around on Twitch. If you guys are a smaller streamer in lower ranks, I may have been in your stream at one point, because I like to go through, I like to do my research. I like to see how lower players are struggling so that I can make these videos better for you guys. And this is one that I see pop up constantly. I'll see a group of players, they're in a 3-stack, they have a game plan, they're sitting in the pre-game lobby screen, they're saying, hey, let's do this, and let's do this and win the game. And on paper, it sounds like a really good plan. It seems like they know what they're talking about, and I'm wondering, how are they hard stuck? But then they get into game, they don't even remember the plan, and they just start running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. Nobody's taking control, nobody's remembering the game plan, they're not being consistent, and they end up throwing their RP because they just don't know what to do. If you guys are going into a game with a plan, constantly be running that in your head. We're doing A, then we're doing B, then we're doing C, and then we're profiting. You should just be saying that over and over and over. And if your teammates are trying to stray away from that, you remind them. A, B, C, profit. This will help you guys so much in your rank climbs, because once you start to be consistent, that is how you climb. It's not winning every single game. That is unrealistic. You're not going to get that. But minimizing RP losses until you get that big gain is how you climb. Instead of taking the minus 40, minus 40, minus 40, minus 40, what plus 200, minus 40, minus 40, minus 40, you're taking the plus 20s, the plus 15s, the plus 100, the plus 50, and then the plus 250 or whatever more it could be. That is how you climb. You stay consistent, you get those small gains until you get the big gain, and then you are in a much higher tier. So be in the loading screen, talk to your squad, get a plan, hammer it out, and stick to it. But now let's move into number 4, and this is trying to be the hero. Now this is kind of the same as number 2, as over relying on hot drops because you're trying to be that guy, but this is more in fights. Because I see a lot of people trying to be the one to have the most damage, the most kills. They're trying to be the person that, in quotation marks, carries the team. And actually a lot of times it ends up losing the team the game because they're the first one to go down. Now you force your team into a bad spot. They either have to run away or they can't run away and they have to fight a bad situation. And now you guys are down RP. Stop trying to be the hero. You're in a team game for a specific reason. You guys need to be working as a team. And I know that some people might be sitting there saying, well, I solo queue, I can't rely on my teammates. And yes, you can, just to a certain degree. I solo queue a lot in Apex. I've actually solo queued to Masters twice before. And the way that I got there was playing around my teammates. I don't expect them to do anything, but I let them do their thing and play off of that. I don't do my own plan. I don't do my own thing. I let them do their own thing and I clean up after that. If you're solo queuing, you're probably not going to be able to convince them to change their game plan. They have a very set way and you should just be going along with them. But again, that's not being the hero. That's allowing yourself to take a step back, play off of your teammates, and win a fight or a game based off of that. Is it going to work every single time? Absolutely not. But then that goes back into reason number 3 and being consistent in game plans. As long as you're consistent, you will still climb. It's just minimizing RP losses, and not being the hero will constantly minimize those RP losses. This is going to be one that does take some time for some people because it's very set in their head to try to be that playmaker. But honestly guys, once you really figure it out, once you're able to take that step back, you will see a lot more consistent gains. But now let's move into reason number 5, and this is not adapting to the changing maps. Now, this was a new addition in Season 16 where every 24 hours the ranked map does change. Right now we have Broken Moon, Stormpoint, and World's Edge, and each of those maps have different playstyles. They have different ways that you want to be going throughout the map. They have different ways that you're going to be wanting to gain RP. And if you're using the same game plan on every single map, it's not going to be consistent. It's not going to be netting you the best RP gains. And on one map, you might actually be throwing away all the RP that you gained on another because that game plan worked there and not on this one. This is something that's actually holding back a lot of higher tier players because they can't figure out what works and what doesn't on the different maps. If you look around, a lot of people do complain about certain maps like Broken Moon because they just can't figure out the playstyle. But if you and your squad are able to incorporate different ways to gain RP on each map, you will be in a much better position. And if you guys are wondering, we do actually have a video on the YouTube channel here breaking down the best way to gain RP on each map, so that can help you. But being adaptable and changeable and moldable is a very big skill in Apex when it comes to these rotating maps. Being able to identify, hey, this strategy might work on World's Edge, but it does not work on Broken Moon, and being able to change and fix what doesn't work is a huge asset to you and your team's gameplay. But let me know what things holding you back in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm 8 Second Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.